But why are we discussing about adapt or perish? If you see the history, now from very materialistic point of view, in history we have seen people who have not adapted. Not only people, but the other species also. Those who couldn't adapt, they are no more. They are extinct species. The environment is continuously changing, so we have to adapt. Now, human beings have a lot of power to adapt because we have this intelligence given by the Supreme Lord that we can create a situation, a closed environment. Like if the weather is very, very warm, we can have air conditions. If it's very cold, we can have heaters. So somehow or the other, we have been given this intelligence. Now that's one thing. Another, so this very, very basic, survival instinct, they say. So this is for the at the level of survival. But we are talking about spiritual level, consciousness level, the level of the soul. Because I am soul, you are soul, we are all souls. So we have to adapt. So what happened? Soul is engaged in this body and in subtle body, gross, and there is subtle body. Ego, subtle body. So we are engaged. Now, what is mind doing to the soul? Soul in itself is very pure, and definitely we don't need to adapt. Soul never perishes, but we don't need to adapt because being spiritual, we are already, accustomed to spiritual life. But from time immemorial, birth after the birth, we are entangled in this material world. And who is keeping us here is mind, is desires, is these three modes, all one and the same thing. You desire, and then accordingly, the three modes will act on you, and the mind will keep you entangled. Now, what is mind doing? Mind is trying to push you, or not trying to, rather, mind is pushing us in a darker region, in a more, what do you mean by darker region? In a more confused state of mind, in a more rebellious state of mind. We are becoming more and more confused. There's lack of clarity, vision, and so there is lack of happiness, lack of peace, lack of satisfaction. So mind is dragging us down or dragging us towards the negative zone or the darker region, as I said. Now, suppose if I'm someone, they do this, they jump from the mountain cliff or they jump from the helicopters, they get training, commandos and all that. They jump. So what is happening? When you jump from a higher level, because of law of gravitation, naturally the body will come down. But nobody is jumping to die. They are jumping either for adventure or for training or to protect people in the flood region and other areas. So they have these called parachutes. If they don't open the parachute, they are gliding. If they open the parachute, they'll still come down, but in a more guided way. In a more guided, the direction where they want to go, they can accordingly plan. Now, that is a situation where you actually want to come down, but at your own pace, at a softer pace for proper landing. Now, taking us to, we don't want to go with the mind, whether faster or softer. We don't want to go. So this is a different example where you have to swim against the current. You have to swim against the current because mind is taking us down. We don't want to go there because that is not the place we'll be happy. We want to come up. So there's a clash. Now, if we do not adapt to the spiritual practice, then we are gliding down. What is spiritual practice? Reading and understanding Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita, has spoken Bhagavad Gita so that, for the souls, for the individuals who actually want to go up and not glide down because of the mind. So then it's not only philosophy, which we can just, okay, I've read Bhagavad Gita, now I'm done. No, it's a culture. Spirituality is a culture. It's a lifestyle. So just by reading Bhagavad Gita will not help. We have to apply Bhagavad Gita and we have to create a culture. We have to create an atmosphere around us which is more spiritual. And soul and mind needs to adapt to that environment. You would have seen that in family of 4 members, mother, father, son and daughter. Sometimes one is a devotee practicing spirituality. Sometimes 3 are practicing spirituality. Sometimes none and sometimes all 4. Now, when 3 members of the family are practicing spirituality, so the atmosphere becomes more spiritual. It's conducive for the 4th person to actually adapt because there are others. But now, in the world, there is a lot of negativity, extreme negativity. You are watching news or not watching news, what is going on in the world, it's negative. What is going on in the country, it's negative. What is going on in the society, things are bothering us. There's so many things going on in our mind that are bothering us. So this all will be cleared when we adapt ourselves to the culture of spirituality. Now, what is this culture? This culture is reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita, chanting the holy names of Krishna, and eating Krishna Prasad, having the culture of proper and regulatory lifestyle, your sleep pattern, your eating pattern, everything. What we have done to ourselves is we are just going along with the flow. What flow? Modernization is going. So look at what has happened to our eating pattern. Look at what has happened to our sleeping pattern. Eating pattern, what are we eating? When are we eating? How much are we eating? Everything is disturbed. And this is disturbing not only our body, but our mind also, but our consciousness also. Once, I'll tell you a story. Once what happened, Akbar the Great. So Akbar, he asked, which is the situation which can make a person, a human being, intensely tensed, stressed. And how can he actually relieved? How can he be relieved from that? So everyone gave answer, oh, financial problem, this problem, that problem, family problem, bachcho ka school problem, and then so many problems. Akbar was hearing those answers, but nothing is going, and touching deep in his consciousness. Then he saw Birbal is sitting quiet. And Birbal is always the last person to speak. He is relaxed. So Akbar asked Birbal, what do you think? Birbal said, my lord, the most stressed situation is when you get nature's call, when you're feeling the pressure in your bowels and you are not able to clean that. And what is the solution? Just clear it. Akbar said, what are you talking, Birbal? It's such an ordinary thing. Do you think this will create so much stress? Birbal said, yes. Akbar said, I don't believe. Birbal said, you are the king. Whatever you think, it's all right. But that's the answer. Akbar was not satisfied and Birbal wanted to prove it. So after 2-3 days, Birbal told Akbar, let's go somewhere. They went, few of the soldiers and the king and the Birbal, and Birbal is going and Birbal, he gave something to eat which contained laxatives. Now they are out, and king is not the person who go to bathroom anywhere. Obviously, he's the king. And now, because of that effect of that laxatives, Akbar is feeling that pressure. It's building up, building up, building up, and the stress is building up. And then he is looking. And he told Birbal. Birbal said, no problem, wait, we are going back in few hours, then you can go home. No, I cannot wait for few hours. Please try to understand. This is my new dress. I don't want to make it dirty. He cannot just go anywhere. That is how Birbal actually teaches. And pressure was becoming intense and intense and intense, and Akbar was, this pressure was driving Akbar crazy. He was heavily stressed out. He forgot any other problem in life. And then finally, Birbal, he had arranged a place already. He's a king, so you know that I'm giving laxatives, so I should also arrange a place for him. So it's a very big punishment, You give someone laxatives and there is no bathroom nearby. So then Akbar was relieved. So the point is, if our basic bodily necessities are not met, we become stressed out. So now body, mind, intelligence and soul, at all level we are stressed. Especially the people of this modern era, Kali Yuga, are stressed out. We all are stressed out. So then, if you don't get proper sleep, if you don't sleep for 2 hours, then your mind is not, your brain doesn't function. You go crazy. You just want sleep. So basic things like sleep and eating can also add a lot of stress in your life. When we talk about sleeping, we talk about sleep. Quantity is numbers, quality is what time you're sleeping, what time you wake up. So this is body. How this impacts mind, how this adds up to the stress. And then what people do? I was just interacting with few of the college students, and what they do, youngsters, they will watch some movie on their mobile or on their laptop. They will watch some videos, and it will go on, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they sleep. So the quality and quantity of sleep gets affected. And they do not even realize that why they are not productive, why they're not very effective in their life. Because they have not got proper sleep. And similarly with eating, similarly with the mind. The mind is, driving us like crazy in every direction, unlimited desires. And then intelligence has become dull. So all this is adding up to so much stress and so much negativity that we don't know what to do. And the only solution, that's even if you go to doctors, modern scientists, they will say, no, modern allopathic doctor, they will say you should sleep on time. Earlier, they were not much talking about sleep, but now recently they've started talking, emphasizing more on sleep. Doctors are saying, allopathy, I'll talk about Ayurvedic also. Allopathy doctors saying, don't be awake after 10:30. 10:30 you should be off to bed and be sleep. When you be slept, the work style and all that. Okay, try for something, somewhere between 9:30 and 10. Why? This is a culture. This is not spiritual culture, but this will help us to practice spirituality better. So one student, he asked me, I told you I was just giving a session to college students. So he asked me that, sir, I study till 2 a.m., then I sleep and wake up at 7 o'clock. Get ready, go to college. So what's the problem? I said, you are sleeping for 5 hours. And definitely, again in the evening, you are trying to catch up on sleep. Because 5 hours is not sufficient. You are not a Superman. Even if you want to sleep 5 hours, why don't you sleep at 10 o'clock? Wake up at 3 o'clock and then study. You are from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I am saying you sleep at 10 p.m., wake up at 3 a.m. and study from 3 a.m. to 7. What's the problem? For him or for any other common man, it will be like, what's the problem? It's just 5 hours and 5 hours of sleep and 4 hours of study. Yes. But when you change the time, it has a lot of impact on our body, on our mind, on our intelligence. Sleep is directly connected to your intelligence. And for studies, you need intelligence. If you're feeling very dull, if you're feeling very drowsy, very lazy, you can't study. So the morning hours are good for, anything which you want to gain, you want to learn. So if we do not be modern people, we don't care for, all about this. Now, when this modernization, all these started, maybe 20 years, 30 years, at maximum 50 years. Even 50 years in major cities like Bombay, Delhi, and others, people used to sleep on time, wake up on time. You would see people walking in the parks, in the gardens, and jogging and exercise. Early morning they'll start. Now you don't see much. So the culture which has kept our ancestors, I'm not talking about ancestors like 50 generations back, maybe our father, mother, or grandfathers, grandmothers, how they were so much more productive, how they were, so much more healthy, so much more happy, because they adapted to this culture. And now this modernization, this modern culture is driving us down, taking us down the hill. And mind has actually convinced us that this is good, this is all right, this is okay. All the doctors all around the world, Ayurvedic, homeopathy, allopathy, naturopathy, now are recommending that you should take care of your body first. Yeah. And body means two things: sleeping and eating. These two things are taken care. If you bring a spiritual environment in your life, your activity mind, your everything is super. Everything is taken care. You read Bhagavad Gita, you hear Bhagavad Gita, your intelligence becomes sharp. You can take proper decisions in life that will make you happy. Correct decisions you will take. When you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, your mind is uncontrolled, creating everyone. It's all over the world. I'm not talking about only the wars which which are like taking place in Russia and Ukraine. Inside, I have my own emotional war going on. You have your own emotional war going on. When we come together, there's a major war. And that's why there's a rift. So if you read Bhagavad Gita and hear Bhagavad Gita, then your intelligence is sharp. It can guide you properly. You chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, your mind is calm. And then you practice other spiritual things which will take care of your eating, sleeping, body is taken care. And soul who stays in the body, in gross and subtle body, becomes happy. Much, much happier than before. And that's what we are looking for. Happiness. And if we do not adapt to this spiritual culture, what happens? We just glide down along the mind, go to the darker regions and perish. That's what's happening. We can see people around us who are not practicing spirituality. What is happening to them? And spirituality is very simple. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Read and hear Bhagavad Gita. Offer to the Lord whatever you eat. Sleep on time, wake up on time. Everything is taken care of. Your material life is good, your spiritual life is good, you are happier than before. When you smoothly live your life, at the end of your life, you attain liberation. So simple. But if we do not adapt, then we know what is happening with others and we know what is happening with us. So this is very important. That we adapt to this culture. Now, someone may ask, but how do I adapt to this culture? I do not have this environment around me. Then you take help. That is why we are here for. That's why this International Society for Krishna Consciousness is formed, is created. To facilitate members of entire world, people of entire world, to facilitate, to create but you have initiated. We can be supportive. We are a support, but you have to take initiative. You have to understand this is important. If you want to really become happy in life, be satisfied in life, have a better relationship with people, be more effective in not only in work or life. So this is very important. And that's why we are here to discuss, to understand this. So please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and read Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So if you have any questions, we can take. It's all right. So if you do not have any question, please chant and read Bhagavad Gita. And we have this daily Srimad Bhagavatam class going on. It's in Hindi, and I hope you all understand Hindi. So you can attend that. Be a part of that group. That will, give you a daily booster. It's not like a COVID vaccine annual booster. I heard virus is coming back. They just gone for post-winter vacation. They're coming back for summers. So hope for the best, that they do not create, so much of problem in our life. But whatever, whether virus comes or doesn't come, we should have our daily dose, a booster dose of spirituality. So I would request our Shakti Raj Prabhu, he'll share with you in the group about our daily Bhagavatam class and other programs also. You can be part of that. The more you hear, the more you read, the more you chant, the happier you become. The clarity, more clarity. You see, a lot of fog is there. In our consciousness, it's very foggy. So we need a lot of, input to drive away that fog. And the path is clear. We can drive very smoothly. Hare Krishna.